If you have ever been around social media or watched any sort of popular subscription service, then we're sure you have at some point heard of a company called Marvel Entertainment. The global phenomenon has swept the world with their compelling movies and shows about various fictional superheroes over the past few decades. When speaking of Marvel, there is usually one name that pops up over and over again, and that's baseball cap enthusiast and Marvel Studio president Kevin Feige. However, Kevin is not the only hero behind Marvel's incredible success. In fact, if it wasn't for this particular person who Feige reports to, Marvel would not be the iconic name that it is today. Much like the battle for New York in the first Avengers movie, the company was caught in a heated battle for control between two corporate moguls and two unknown toy business owners in the mid-1990s. Can you guess which of these groups claimed the half-century-old company in the battle of true grit? In today's video, we're going to talk about the billionaire who bought and snapped Marvel Entertainment back into relevancy, TIsaac, Ike, Perlmutter, and Marvel's latest success. Perlmutter's early life. TIsaac, most commonly known as Ike, is an Israeli-American businessperson and financier. Currently, he is the chairman and CEO Emeritus of Marvel Entertainment, but was also the owner of Remington products and Marvel toys. TIsaac was born to a Jewish family in the British Mandate of Palestine and grew up in Israel, where he served in the Six-Day War of 1967. When he was just 24, TIsaac moved to New York with only $250 in his pocket, determined to make it into a fortune. This is when he was introduced to Marvel Comics. He also sold toys and beauty products on the streets of New York City, which eventually evolved into selling surplus stock at end-of-the-line items at a big profit. Although Perlmutter never signed up for college, he taught himself how to read a balance sheet and became quite skillful at spotting overlooked opportunities in weak and distressed companies. To learn more about Perlmutter's young journey, check out Dan Ravi's 2004 book titled Comic Wars: Marvel's Battle for Survival for an interesting take on the colorful true story of the business superheroes who rescued Marvel Comics from bankruptcy. According to one passage, TIsaac would wait outside Jewish cemeteries with a prayer book in his hand, offering grieving families to chant morning verses over the graves of the dead. From there, he took a bank loan and a loan from his in-laws in order to start purchasing companies. TIsaac's early investments. Perlmutter found unprecedented success in the kind of companies that resold surplus bars of soap. According to Ravi's book, Perlmutter approached the entertainment industry for the first time when he was 41 and bought surplus merchandise from Mattel Toy Company, the profits of which eventually led to his investment in toy company Coleco, which was bought by Hasbro. Perlmutter had a close relationship with the management of toy manufacturer Coleco Entertainment, as he had been purchasing unsold inventory from them for some time. As is typical in the industry, payment terms were often unusual. With Coleco, Perlmutter would purchase unsold inventory in exchange for 50% cash and 50% in barter advertising credits, which is a promise to pay for the future advertising expenses of Coleco. Over a 4-year period, Perlmutter had received $144 million in goods and paid $73 million in cash, along with providing $71 million in barter advertising credits to be paid in the future. With a new partner, Bernard Martin, and leveraging the skills he attained as a wholesaler, he formed a company called Odd Lot Trading, a wholesaler and retailer of closeout items. In May of 1984, they sold Odd Lot to Revco discount drugstores in exchange for 12% of Revco stock. He soon challenged Revco management for control of the company, but after initial positive feedback was rejected. Perlmutter and his partner threatened a hostile takeover, but eventually refrained and sold their share back to Revco for $120 million. The more investments TIsaac made, the more opportunities it presented for him, and in 1993, he made a deal with Ronald Perlman, turning his toy company Toy Biz into a subsidiary of Marvel. Although he reportedly had no interest in comics, his investments led him straight to one of the most powerful positions in the industry. After Marvel fell into bankruptcy in 1996, it was Perlmutter and his business partner Avi Arad who gained control of the company and turned it around into the juggernaut we know today. The Marvel Comics acquisition. Perlmutter beat out fellow billionaire Carl Icahn for control of bankrupt comic book firm Marvel in 1998, becoming its chairman. He revived the company's stock by producing action hero movies like Spider-Man, Blade, Daredevil, Hulk, and Iron Man. The billionaire chairman of Marvel Entertainment drove the transformation of the company from a bankrupt comic book publisher to media powerhouse whose superhero movies have generated billions upon billions of dollars in the worldwide box office. In 1998, the first film packaged and licensed by Marvel Studios was Blade, based on the notorious vampire hunter from the comics. The film was directed by Stephen Norrington and starred Wesley Snipes as Blade. It was released on August 21st and successfully grossed $201 million, which kicked off the next series of movies for Marvel. In 2000, X-Men was released and grossed $453 million. Ike also oversaw the Blair Witch Project movie under his control while building other main Marvel powerhouses. In 2002, Spider-Man by Columbia Pictures grossed $1.2 billion. Ike saw the early success of Spider-Man and led the film studio to issue a 7-figure advance for a sequel. The philosophy behind this move was simple. Movies make sequels, therefore, it's a big economic luxury to know that a movie is going to get a second and a third. This is a business of precedence. In 2005 to 2008, deals were cut to bring other Marvel characters and to plan out what movies were coming. Iron Man arrived and the rest is history. This one movie set the precedence of everything Marvel. In 2009, he sold the majority of Marvel to Disney for $4 billion in cash and stock. In 2015, Perlmutter moved off Marvel's movie division in part because of a clash over the budget on Captain America: Civil War. TIsaac was in control of all the movie projects until his clash with Kevin Feige, the now chief creative officer of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Once Feige took over, the best was yet to come. The stories got larger and the movie started blending characters all together across the universe. This led to a purple alien showing up to snap the MCU into existence for another 20 years. Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame are the highest grossing movies for this franchise, while other films such as Captain Marvel grossed $1 billion. With all this success, Marvel moves forward towards television. Marvel Cinematic Universe expansion. In September of 2018, it was reported that Marvel Studios was developing several limited series for the streaming service Disney Plus to be centered on second-tier characters from the MCU films who had not and were unlikely to star in their own films. Characters being considered for the series included Loki and Scarlet Witch, with each series expected to be 6 to 8 episodes with a hefty budget rivaling those of a major studio production. In October 2019, Feige was given the title of Chief Creative Officer and would oversee the creative direction of Marvel Television and Marvel Family Entertainment, with both being returned to being under the Marvel Studio banner. 2 months later, Marvel Television was folded into Marvel Studios, with Marvel Studios overseeing development of all the Marvel television series in production at the time of its closing. In July 2021, ahead of the studio's first animated series, What If?, Executive Vice President of Film Production Victoria Alonso noted that Marvel Studios was creating an animation branch and mini studio to focus on more animated content beyond What If. With all of Marvel's latest success, can you imagine where the company would be today without Isaac Perlmutter's acquisition? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Perlmutter's personal life. Early in his career, Perlmutter met his wife Laura Perlmutter at a Catskills resort, marrying only soon after. Isaac and his wife choose to divide their time between homes in Palm Beach, Florida, close to Mar-a-Lago, and New York City. If you have never seen any interviews or photography with Perlmutter, it is because he purposely avoids the publicity. In fact, he takes tremendous pride in never having given an interview over his long career, despite being in the public eye due to his many bankruptcy fights and court battles. Very little is known of how he spends his money, but we do know that he's a big Trump supporter. Perlmutter and Donald Trump. Trump and Perlmutter have been friends for more than 25 years and have residences in Palm Beach. Perlmutter is a member of Trump's Mar-a-Lago and lives just down the street from the club. In 2016, Perlmutter and his wife Laura donated $5 million to a super PAC supporting Trump, according to the Federal Election Commission filing obtained by the Center for Responsive Politics. Trump spoke publicly about Perlmutter at a fundraiser for wounded veterans in January 2016. Trump had skipped the GOP primary debate that night, and on stage, he called out Perlmutter, specifically saying the Marvel chair would donate $1 million to the fundraiser. Trump then called Perlmutter one of the great men of our country in terms of business and talent. This wraps up today's video. What do you think of the man behind the scenes at Marvel Entertainment? And what other billionaires would you like to see a documentary on? Share with us your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to click the subscribe button for more videos like these and check out this related video to see more. Until next time,